Okay. We're live. Hi. I want you guys to know that I fought a lot of demons in the past 30 minutes. And I sat here. I didn't do anything. I sat here. I was only fighting for my life.
And I sat here.
Technology.
I sat here drinking out of my, oh, what's this? My Olivia Rodrigo Stanley cup?
Mm.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of A Literary Tasting. My name is Jessica.
My name is Annie.
And this week we are reading It Happened One Summer. Normally on this podcast we pair our books with a drink, but I broke up with my boyfriend that's not my boyfriend on Sunday, so as you can imagine, I've been drinking a lot of wine.
I have no excuses. I just need a tea break today, so, because I have been drinking a lot of wine as well. I just have no, like, valid excuse to...
Be drinking?
Yeah.
So we have our water.
My water's in my...
Sorry.
My water's in my backpack. But I have it.
Did I already say what we're reading?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. This week we are reading It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. And when I tell you guys, once again, I've been duped by TikTok.
Oh.
But I had a great time reading it, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
I had a really good time reading it. Really good time. Like, I really did. I really did.
Also on this podcast, we always rate our drinks.
How that shit taste?
It's a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Drinking water out of the Olivia Rodrigo cup not only makes me feel rich, famous, it makes me feel small-waisted and big-minded.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Let's get into our fan casting.
Yeah, let's.
Ooh, actually, let's get into some trigger warnings. Death of a parent, sexual content.
Sorry, I'm still pulling up this bitch.
Small town bullying. Nothing scarier than that. And I think that's it. But if you guys have any corrections that you feel like we should have touched on, we are happy to hear your opinions. So let us know.
Yes. We'd be happy to hear them.
So, in this book, the male main character is a captain fisherman, a king crab fisher.
King crab fisherman.
King crab fisher?
There's a difference.
Apparently there is.
Yeah.
And he's big, he's buff. He wears a beanie throughout the entire book, despite living in a coastal town, which I didn't really understand. But I guess I'm, like, confusing it with, it's in Westport, which is, like, close to Seattle, so I guess it's, like, not the same.
Once I realized that, they were close to Seattle, I was like, okay, the beanie's starting to make a little bit more sense. It's chilly here. Let's get into it. Jesus Christ.
So Brendan, our male main character, wears a lot of beanies, guys. If I ever see a man in a beanie, best believe I'm taking it off his head and I'm beating him with it. I'm so sick and tired of beanies.
You guys, my ex...
What are you, 2014 Luke Hemmings? No, girl.
I definitely had a beanie phase. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie about
Well,
it.
you're a woman.
But let me
Everything
tell
you do
something.
is cute.
So true.
When a man wears a beanie, it's like, do you even respect women?
No. First of all, I have two things to say. One, it's giving Caleb Rivers. Two...
Oh, he's hot, though.
Oh. He's hot, but you did not need to be wearing a beanie. Two, especially with his luscious locks. Two, I have a fucking terrible... My ex...
Oh, no. Oh, no! I don't want to hear it!
He used to wear a beanie.
No.
You know what? I'm just gonna leave it there.
Tell me.
Okay. He used to wear a beanie, but, like, he would, like, put all the hair under the beanie, but then he would leave out one piece like this. Just imagine what that looked.
Was he, like, trying to be funny?
No.
He just didn't know how hideous it was?
Yeah. And I would be like, hey, maybe don't wear it like that.
And he'd be like, you're a bitch. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not listening to you.
You're like, you don't know about male's fashion.
Okay.
You don't know about looking good.
Okay. Oh, okay. I should have known that.
Right.
And then our female main character is Piper. She's like a Nepo baby. She's like a social media influencer. She's a lipstick purse. She has an Olivia Rodrigo Stanley.
Yeah, she does.
She didn't pay for it. She got it sent to her.
She has all of the Rose lip peptides.
And I envy her.
And they got sent to her by Hailey Bieber herself.
Hailey Bieber.
Yeah.
Hailey Bieber, would you like to come on the podcast?
We would love to have you. We really would.
For Brendan, I casted Tyler Hoechlin. You'll notice a theme. Every male character I cast has been on Teen Wolf at some point in their lives. They live in my brain. They all have their own individual rooms in there. They clock in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so valid. What can we do?
Yeah, he's really hot.
Oh my god, yeah, that was like the first time you ever looked at a man. Like, it was not like the first time you looked at someone, like, of the male species, and you were like, that's not a boy, that's a man.
I mean, that's how I felt about Caleb Rivers.
Interesting.
I thought he was, like, the most gorgeous person to ever walk the planet.
Oh, no,
that
he's
scene of
definitely
him
gorgeous.
and him and Hannah in the shower, I was like, a man.
I just watched that, actually, during my lunch
Did you get
break
horny?
today.
Did you go horny?
I did turn my phone off. I'm kidding.
Actually, no, I think they were definitely over 18.
No, they were adults, but, no, even when I was a kid, I was like, he's definitely fine, but he looks like a teenager. Like, to me, I was like, oh, that's definitely a teenager. You know? I casted Sebastian Stan.
I think fair picks for both of them.
I think so, too. I think Sebastian Stan is such a cutie. And then who'd you cast for Piper?
She's about to get mad.
I am.
I casted, Skylar Samuels. You might know her as Gigi from Wizards of Waverly Place. You also might know her as Senorita Awesome from Screen Queens. I love her. She didn't write the line.
I casted, so you remember when Leighton Meester had blonde hair? Like,
No, but I, like, wish I could Google it right now.
She looked so... Actually, I have an edit for this. I need you to see it to understand what I'm saying.
Oh, wait, we do have a timer.
Okay, keep going, and I'll show you the edit in a minute. But keep going.
Okay. And then other relevant characters, we also have Hannah and Fox. I didn't cast anyone for either one of them.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I don't know where your phone went. I think
what the
it got
fuck?
sucked into a vortex or something.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't cast anyone for them either, because, I mean, at this point, I'm really just trying to cast the main two characters and move on with my life. Unless they, like, really make an impression on me, but those two, like, were barely in the book, to be quite frank.
I don't know, I wanted to fuck Fox.
Low-key, me too.
Okay, we're not gonna worry about this right now.
No, I'm looking for it. We keep going.
So, like I said, Piper is a Nepo baby / influencer. She doesn't do anything with her life, and they make that really, really clear to us. This bitch is a loser. This bitch is unemployed.
Okay.
And right from the jump, she's in the trenches. Mm-hmm. She gets dumped by her boyfriend of 3 weeks. He basically is like, you're a fucking unemployed loser, and I don't date unemployed loser bitches. And she's like, whoa. And he does it to her at a party. Yeah, if someone did this, I'm gonna say, 1 second, and I'm gonna jump off this building out of spite. You deserve to suffer. But yeah, someone at a party is kind of crazy.
He was really mean about it, for no reason. In front of everyone.
To be fair, I did hate Piper a lot. So, like, I probably would have done something equally as mean.
No, she didn't deserve to be bullied like that in front of everyone.
No,
like,
I'd say I wouldn't have done that, but I would have done something equally as mean.
No. I mean, was she a little bit... I didn't even really hate her, to be honest. I just thought she was, like, a little bit, like...
ditzy.
Yeah, but, like, kind of in an endearing way. I wasn't sitting here like, I think you're, like, stupid and dumb.
I was not endeared. Oh, okay.
I didn't think that.
So, as, like, punishment for her ex to prove that she's fine, she throws a party on a rooftop of a hotel with fireworks and, like, there's helicopters surrounding the roof of the place. Also, like, listen, I'm not trying to be ageist, but I am saying that, like, this is something you do where it's, like, it's cute and it's funny when you're 22. When you're 30, it's, like, cops showed up to your party.
Yeah. Is she supposed to be 30?
I think she's supposed to be, like, 28.
Yeah.
Too old to be
doing that. It's
too old for it to be cute and fun and, like, she's a party girl. Like, by the time you're 28, it's, like, you should know how to party responsibly.
Yeah.
You should go to decades and be mean to men.
Yeah, she
shouldn't be throwing
doing
parties where the cops show up.
Where you're breaking and entering into a hotel and setting off fireworks in the middle of the night. Yeah, no, you should definitely not be doing that. She obviously gets arrested.
Literally gets into fucking prison. It's just hard time. That's how the book ends. No, I'm just kidding. Her sister comes immediately and bails her out immediately. Yeah. And she goes back to her dad's house, and her dad is like, yeah, you guys are going, Piper, you're going to Westport. That's where your dad grew up, and that's where your mom and him met. So you're gonna go back there. Also, I don't really understand how this is punishment, though. Like, because he sends her there with a debit card.
Yeah, which has, like, limited money, but, like, what's limited money to y'all?
What's limited money to y'all? And, like, also, like, what's limited money? They like, go to a winery, so they've got, like, money to spend.
Yeah. Like, their idea of limited money is obviously...
And also, like, limited money in LA or limited money in Westport.
Right, because...
Two different...
Exactly, because their limited money in LA is still going to be a lot more
in
than...
Westport, yeah. It's going to go a lot further in Westport.
Annual salary in Westport. Mm-hmm. So, they're fucking fine. But he wants them to, you know, learn the value of, like, hard-earned money and hard work.
But they didn't hard-earn the money.
I know. He wants them... That's why he sends them with limited funds, so that they can go and, like, make money, basically, I think.
Well, that's the thing, is, like, I don't know why they just didn't... Like, Hannah gets a job, but I genuinely could not wrap my mind around why didn't she just get a job?
Hannah?
No.
Oh, Piper?
Yeah.
What skills does she have?
She doesn't need to have, like, experience to, like, work at a souvenir shop in the Outer Banks.
True. But I think, like, yeah, fair enough. They wouldn't give a fuck, actually.
Yeah, especially not on the off season.
But when they get there, it's like, it's the on season. It's summer. There's, like, tourism happening. Although, like, who's the fuck is going on, like, a summer vacation to Westport?
Yeah, there's no beach.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, anyways, he sends her there. And actually, even then, I don't really understand what kind of punishment this is supposed to be. When I was writing it down, I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. When I was reading it, I was like, yeah, fair enough. But then I was like, punishment, go connect with your dad, your dead dad.
Yeah, what? Yeah, like...
And another thing is, if she's an influencer and she's getting, like, she gets 3 million likes on the post that gets her sent to prison. Mm-hmm. If you're getting 3 million likes on an Instagram post, do a Celsius sponsorship, babe. Go to Coachella with Sugar Bear hair.
Yeah, I mean...
And then post a Bye Sister video of your own. Like, nary a Celsius sponsorship.
Yeah, like...
I didn't really understand that.
How she doesn't have one dime to her name?
Yeah.
To her own name? Yeah.
Well, because, like, you don't even have to work. Just, like, post a video of you eating Sugar Bear hair.
Literally.
That didn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. How she doesn't have, like... She has, like, $0 in her bank account that's not from her own...
Speaking as people who have no followers...
Yeah.
A sponsorship would really go a long way with us. I promise you that. But they move to Westport, and they move into the bar, that their dad used to own, / still owns for some reason. And the dad's been hiring a janitor to keep it clean and safe. And there's an apartment above it with a bunk bed and 1 shower. And 1 kitchen.
Yeah, and it's all within the same, like, 4-foot radius.
Yeah.
It's like an awful, awful apartment.
And when they get there, Brendan and all his men, again, just, like, hanging out in an abandoned bar, drinking beer that they brought from home.
Like, is there not an actual bar
just
down the street?
Just go to the bar, yeah.
Just go
hey,
to the actual bar.
You want to hang out at this abandoned building and drink beer that we brought ourselves?
Yeah.
What?
Let's. That sounds...
And also, we're all gonna wear matching beanies. Are you in?
Ew, they're all in there like, I'm a weirdo. I'm not like other people.
No, seriously, if I ever
in.
see a man in a beanie, I'm running the other way.
Yeah.
Mention more beanies, guys.
Sometimes if you're, like, really hot, you can pull it off, but it's a rarity, I feel.
She was, like, really, like, slay about it, though, because they're, like, she gets there and she's like, okay, everyone needs to go, because, like, I live here now. And they were like, no, nobody owns this bar. That's why we're all here. And she goes, oh, that's not what the deed says. Bye.
Yeah.
That's verbatim what she says.
Yeah. She ate them up.
She ate them up actually really fucking
She took
bad.
all of their fucking hiking boots off their feet.
She said, give me the boots. Take them off.
Take off your fucking fishing boots.
Yeah.
And give them to me.
Oh, someone's wig is in the corner.
Someone's toupee.
Get it on your way out.
But, okay, yeah. And then Brendan's, like, staring at her, and he's just, like, mad at her the moment she steps out of her taxi.
Because he wants to fuck her so bad.
Yeah, he's so mad he can't understand why he finds her so attractive. Yeah.
Guys, if you're keeping up with the saga of Am I Gonna Get Fucked This Weekend, I did not get fucked. So this one, again, was a hard read for me.
Yeah, this was a hard read for me. They're all hard reads for me. Just assume from here on out, unless I tell you otherwise, that it was a hard read for me.
Just sitting in a pool of fluids.
Whoa. But he's, like, getting a fucking, like, kick out of the fact that, like, she's so out of her element and that, like, the apartment is garbage.
She's wearing, like, stilettos.
Yeah.
In this, like, beach town.
Yeah. The next morning he goes to the grocery store and he's
wearing a beanie there.
He's wearing the beanie.
Putting on your beanie to go, yeah, like, gotta put on my shoes, keys, wallet, beanie.
Let me not forget my beanie when I go to the grocery store
no,
at 6 in the
no!
morning. He goes there and he's like, I'm picking out the 4 things I get every time I come here.
Another beanie.
His closet is just beanies on hangers. They're all the same color.
They're all black.
Yeah. And he goes there and he finds Piper and he's just like...
He's like, why isn't she wearing a beanie? Sorry, I'll stop. Sorry, go ahead.
And she's like, I'm here to buy one, obviously. She's like, I want to make my sister dinner, you know, to say thank you for her, like, coming here with me. So, like, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, make a meal.
Because she's apparently never cooked a single meal.
In her whole life.
Where is she getting... I know she's... Okay, like, I know, like, realistically, she's a Nepo baby.
Yeah, so she, like, you know, has a private chef, but you've never made yourself, like, an egg.
Like toast?
Right.
Yeah, like cereal.
Like, I'm sure...
Like boxed mac and cheese.
I'm sure, like, you know, fucking the Hadids make their own dinner
sometimes.
Well,
I don't know. I guess there was that video of Kendall with the cucumber, so... But chopping vegetables is hard. Bear with me. Boxed mac and cheese is much easier than chopping a cucumber.
Yeah. But, like, she should have at least known to get the fucking boxed mac and cheese and been able to follow the directions on the box, you know? Like, she's sitting here, like...
Also, just, like, put a chicken in the oven.
Right. She literally sat here and said, Siri, how to make an easy meal.
Also, can you imagine being in the grocery store talking to your phone?
Yeah, in this small town, they already don't like you, girl.
How do I make chicken?
No, literally. Everyone...
I'd kill myself.
Of course he gives her grief about it. Of course he gives her grief about it.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't like her at the beginning, and I was like, girl, come on.
At the beginning,
Go to the boxed mac and cheese aisle.
She's definitely a little bit insufferable at the beginning, but near the end, she grew on me. She became a little less insufferable. But they also have a moment where he basically tells her that, like, oh, my wife is dead.
Yeah, in the middle of this grocery store at 6 a.m., this is their second time meeting.
Yeah, because she tried to kind of give him, like, flirty eyes when they first met in the bar, and then she noticed his wedding ring, because he's still wearing his wedding ring, and then...
The fact that both of them clocked she was trying to give him flirty eyes, how was she possibly looking at him?
I know. What was she doing that was so OD? No, I think she was just pretty, and he was like, well, she must be flirting with me, because she's a woman.
Witch!
And I'm a man. Whoa! He said Jezebel.
She was like, okay.
Yeah. So she was like, yeah, I stopped because I thought you were married, and he was like, no, my wife is sadly passed. And she's like,
no, he doesn't say that. He said, no, my wife is fucking dead. The way he delivers that line is crazy. He's like, no, my wife is dead. You are an idiot.
And she's like, oh, my bad. My fault. Let me take my ground beef and go. So she takes her ground beef and she leaves. After he says, girl, if you don't just put some fucking ground beef in a fucking pan and cook it, like, you're doing
not
a
that
lot.
hard. Get some, Well, actually really easy to make, like, homemade spaghetti sauce.
Pretty fucking easy.
That actually sounds really good.
I made that on Monday.
Ooh.
Oh my god, it was fucking delicious. I wish I had made, like, 8 more pounds of it.
I'm gonna do that this weekend.
No, it was fucking incredible. But she apparently found it very difficult because she almost damn near burns down the whole building when she tries to make this spaghetti bolognese. She fucking puts the whole block into the pan, just as a block.
Yeah, I find it really, like, I don't believe you, like...
There's no way.
Because coming from someone who, like, is, like, objectively, like, just, like, not very smart, me, like, if I don't know how to do something, you better believe I'm on YouTube. Like, I'm hunched in the corner. Like...
Yeah, she should have at least figured... She could have at least been, like, how to cook ground
also,
beef.
Hannah's not dumb. She can't cook any ground beef. She
would
went to UCLA, right?
She would at least know how to cook it and tell you how. Like, y'all should at least know that you should break it up out of the fucking square that it comes in.
Yeah.
There's a Gordon Ramsay video out there for you.
Yeah, she literally almost burns the bar to the ground.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, her dad was a boat captain and also owned this bar?
Mm-hmm.
No. But I thought being a boat captain made you $1 million.
He owned the bar because he wanted a community, like, he wanted to be the epicenter of the community. He wanted a place for all...
it's actually so real. He was like, I need to be the center of attention.
Yeah, he was like, I need all of my friends and everyone I know to come hang out here every weekend. And you know what? He's right, because he's been gone for a minute, may he rest in peace, and they still hang out here every day. My impact is long-lasting, he said. It's crazy being an influencer. That's what he said.
And then Brendan comes... I forgot his name for a second. And then Brendan comes over. He's across the street at the Red Buoy, where he frequents.
Mm-hmm.
And is yelling at her, basically. I wouldn't even say yelling. He's just like, how did you let this happen? What are you doing?
Yeah, because she runs out into the street with the pan on fire, and he's like, what the
And she's
fuck?
also, like, screaming for help.
Yeah.
And he bolts across the street and puts it out.
Yeah.
And Hannah is like, you're a bully. Stop yelling at her. You know, if you almost burned down a building, people are... listen, they should make sure you're okay first.
Yeah.
People are gonna yell at you for that. Burning down a building is a pretty big mistake to make.
Especially if we're on, like, on a street in a town where, like...
small fire could burn a lot of the town.
It could burn the whole town down.
Yeah.
That, like, again, the epicenter of the town, like, the Red Buoy's going down, everything's going down.
Yeah.
The
Red Buoy. Bye, girl.
Like, say bye to the Red Buoy. I also had, an issue here, because... While I do think, at the beginning, he was certainly giving bully. Like, he was very, very...
He was not giving bully. He was just being rude. He was not giving bully.
He was giving very mean, for no reason.
He was giving a little rude. Chill.
I wouldn't say he was giving a little rude. If a random person that you've never met before, every time they came around, and they also show up everywhere you are, and approach you, mind you, just to be rude...
If I almost burned down my apartment building... and someone came up to me and yelled at me for it while wearing a beanie, I would be like...
You're being fucking rude.
No, I'd be like, no, fair enough. I almost burned down the fucking building.
I mean, yeah, I'm just talking about
he loves the Red Buoy, girl.
I don't give a fuck.
He could have burnt his beanie trying to put out the fire.
Fish and chips. I don't give a fuck about his beanie. It was so valid to tell her off, but also, like...
I thought Hannah was totally not valid in calling him a fucking bully in that moment in particular. Maybe like at first when they're in the bar and she's arguing, she's like, "Yeah, we own that place. Stop being rude to her when you're in her home. Get out."
Yeah.
But like calling him a fucking bully for that,
well, it worked.
I don't think it's okay. Yeah, and then they go on a date immediately after.
Yeah. Yeah, I also got cringed because she, like, says something along the lines of, like, stop yelling at her or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I got cringed because he goes, he said something like,
I would never yell at a woman.
Not even that. He's like, I'm a captain. I don't take orders. I give them out. Girl. Girl. Womp, womp.
Hannah immediately stops yelling at him. Womp womp.
Like... You lost me. Bad.
You hear Piper's puss just, like, sewing itself shut. You hear Yeah. She also posts a photo on her Instagram with the caption, feeling a little naughty.
She chewed that.
No, she didn't! And then it actually gets kind of cute here because he feels, like, really bad about being such a dick to them. So he has new locks installed on all the doors because for some reason everyone has a key to this bar.
The whole community.
Not only does no one own it, but everyone owns a key to it.
Like...
Oh, how did you get another key? How did you get a key?
They went to a locksmith and made a copy.
Well, girl, why did the janitor give that to them? Whatever.
Janitor...
The stepdad said he hired a janitor to keep it clean, and then they get there and he's sleeping.
Yeah, that man didn't give it to them. They stole it off him. Off his drunk, dead body.
He's not dead.
Basically was. But he shows up there at, like, 5 in the morning because he has to leave for a fishing trip, and he's like, okay, let me get this, lock situation taken care of. He shows up, and she answers the door with no pants on, which is like, okay, you shouldn't have done that because you don't know who's at the door. But also, it is 5 in the morning, and if I don't sleep with pants on, like, this is just the situation. You know what I mean?
No, I'm stopping to get pants for sure.
I mean, I am too, but I'm saying, like, you showed up here at 5 in the morning, like...
You know what I think is the most embarrassing thing in the world?
What?
When you sleep in sweatpants and you wake up the next morning
with
and
swamp ass? Let me finish.
When you wake up the next morning and you're a little lad who loves berries and cream. Because your sweatpants have rolled up around your ankle.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it makes you feel like the fattest person on earth. I'm like, oh, you little fatty, was that sleep good?
It's like not only do I have swamp ass, but also I love berries and cream. There's nothing more. Yeah,
I miss that era of TikTok.
I don't sleep with sweatpants ever anymore.
Because you were tired of waking up as a little lad.
Yeah.
Also, he makes a comment. He makes a comment. I'm crying. He makes a comment when she opens the door with no pants on like an idiot. And also Hannah's version of trying to help is throwing a pillow at her. So unhelpful. And he makes a comment, like, it's dual perspective.
Yeah.
So, he makes a comment in his, like, inner monologue. He's like, damn, those panties cup her puss so good.
What's wrong with you? Why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah, why the fuck would you say that?
Cup. It's crazy. That's how I imagined it too. Oh god, it's like if.
Also, this is their third time meeting. Don't
Talk about my cupped puss.
I don't care how much my panties are cupping my puss good. Do not comment on it.
Don't talk about it.
No, and you know what? Especially if I wake up especially if I sleep with no pants on because I took them off because I turned into a little lad. My panties are not where they're supposed to be. Like, girl, you know those Victoria's Secret panties. Like, no, girl.
The other night, I sleep with a hoodie. I sleep with a hoodie every night.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I have a tank top on. I went to the bathroom and I took off the hoodie. And my top was literally going around my tit. And I was like,
girl,
how did it dislodge like this? I was like, girl.
Doing a lot. Like, chill.
Not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I jump scared myself.
But he does change the locks. Which was super cute. Like, very invasive, but I'm willing to forgive it.
It was cute. It was adorbs.
Yeah.
And then he also notices that she, like, banked her head.
Because they have bunk beds.
They have bunk beds, and she's on the bottom bunk, and she bangs her head on the top bunk whenever she wakes up.
But how would she have known that? How would he have known that? He heard that through the door?
She has a little welt on her head.
And
he's like, what happened there? And, yeah.
So he goes on his fishing trip, and he downloads Instagram and makes an Instagram and, like, is like, holy fuck.
Holy fucking fuck.
Looking at her Instagram, holy fuck. And he makes an Instagram account and follows her, and the whole crew makes a huge ass deal about how he makes an Instagram and follows only her. Am I the only one that doesn't think that's that weird?
I mean, from her perspective...
Well, especially considering she has, like... Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. No, but especially given that she has, like, 72 million followers.
No, I don't think it's...
Also, how would she have gotten the notification? She's getting 3 million likes on a photo. She's not getting Captain Benjamin.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Captain Brendan followed you. Yeah.
Brendan in a beanie followed you.
Yeah. But it is also, like... You're not being mysterious at all. Like, the nonchalance is not there. You're being very chalant.
He's not trying to be nonchalant. He's showing up at her house and commenting on how her puss is cupped.
Right.
He's trying to be chalant.
He wants to be very chalant. You're right. He's really about it.
Yeah.
I'm
like that too. Not that I show up at people's houses and tell them their puss is cupped, but I am not chalant. I mean, I am chalant. Now I'm getting confused. I will double, triple text and be like, if you don't fucking answer the phone, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, very chalant.
Yeah.
Extra chalant. Yeah, I mean,
And then I'm like, why won't he text me back? I don't know, girl.
He's at home, like, stop being so chalant.
Yeah, he's like, I want a nonchalant queen. I could never do that. I stop being nonchalant after, like, 2 hours of not getting a text back. Then I'm like, okay. Time to be chalant.
My chalantness is unlocking. It's opening right now. I will say though, like I was kind of like, because in his inner monologue, he's like, I need to screenshot all of these photos.
Yeah, that was weird.
For the trip ahead. And
yeah, because
like,
and she makes it very clear. The author makes it very clear, like what those photos are being saved.
He's gonna wank off. That's why. Ew. I know. And he's like, I need to screenshot all of these.
That's crazy.
And
just like photos of her in like a t-shirt, and you're gonna wank off to that bag.
No, he was like, oh, pictures of her in a bikini, like whatever, showing some skin. I was like,
I mean, it doesn't even matter. There's nothing sexual about that.
I know.
You're being gross.
I was like, okay, we get it. You saw her upper thigh and you saw her cut puss earlier. Like,
Ew.
you'll be okay. It was doing a little bit much for me.
And he sends somebody to install padding on the bottom of her bunk bed.
A little old man.
Yeah.
His name is Abe. And, you know, she gets very endeared to Abe because he's like a nice little old man. And he's like, oh, you know, I have trouble walking around these days. And she's like, you know what, King, I'm gonna walk you to your little... He tells her about this, like, spot he likes to go to read, but he can't get there every day by himself anymore. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna walk you in the mornings because why not? You did something nice for me, let me do something nice for you.
Right. I thought that was super cute.
It was super cute, I thought.
Yeah. Also very fast for her to be making these friendships and relationships is crazy. Everybody takes at least a year to warm up to me.
I was thinking about that. I was like, the way she has like started talking and like making friends with all these people, like it takes me
I thought you meant me. I was like, who am I making friends with?
No, not you. Not you. It'd be taking me forever.
I have friends at my work now, but it took me a year to make them.
So I'm saying, it takes me forever to, like, warm up to people, and even then, like, my real personality doesn't come out for, like, a very, very long time. And, like, if I ended up in a small town, I would just not be... I would look at people down the street and be like... I would not be having conversations.
One thing about small towns... Actually, one thing I've learned about neighbors is they do want to talk.
They do, don't they?
Mm. Yeah. I, like, luckily, I've lived in this building for, at this point, almost 2 years. Now I talk to my neighbors.
Yeah.
But a year ago, they would be like, good morning. And I'd be like, we don't have to do this every day. Like, oh my god.
Oh god.
And Abe tells her that she needs to go meet Opal. And then she does. And then she finds out Opal is her grandmother.
Yeah.
And Opal's like, yeah, low-key, fuck your mom. She just moved out of this bitch.
Yeah, she's like, your dad died. And then she was like, I'm taking the girls and I'm leaving. And Opal was like, girl, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Opal never got to meet them. And they didn't even know that Opal was alive, which is kind of fucked up on her mom's part, for sure.
High key.
Yeah.
High key.
But I also don't blame the mom. Everybody grieves differently.
Yeah.
But I definitely, if I were Piper, I would definitely understand, like, that feeling is very confusing.
Yeah, very confusing. Because it's like, we can't blame her for how she reacted to the love of her life passing away in a very tragic manner.
Yeah. Very tragic.
But I'd be like,
sudden,
yeah, oh my god, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah.
But also I'd be like, dang, I never knew this lady was here, and I wish I did, you know?
Yeah.
But they, like, instantly hit it off as well, which is, like, good for them, because, again, I'd be, like, awkward for the first, like...
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe we
very
need
long time.
I need to be nicer is definitely part of the problem.
I think I'm nice. I think I'm just awkward.
I'm polite. I'm not nice from the jump. I'm not rude, but I'm not nice from the jump, I will be honest.
Which is, like, fair. You don't have to be nice to everyone. I think I'm actually can be a little bit too nice to everyone.
That's the thing is, I don't want to talk half the time.
Yeah. I'll be fine with talking. I just think I'm very uncomfortable, and, like, I don't know. I'm so anxious and awkward that I'm like, I don't know what to say. Am I saying the right thing? Is the conversation going well? Is she enjoying herself?
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I just don't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then after that, her and Hannah go on, like, a walk, and they find a memorial that's up in the town for their dad, which is, like, he really said, I'm going to be the face of this community.
Yeah, actually, good point.
They put up a statue in that man's honor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and they go there.
Besides be a boat captain and own a bar.
He had that je ne sais quoi, I don't know. Everyone was just, like...
No one was being chalant about him.
No.
Wait, no one was being nonchalant about him.
Yeah. And then they go there and they're both kind of like, this feels weird because, like, I don't know this man. You know? But, like, this is our dad. But, like, who is he to me? I don't know him.
Yeah, they don't feel a connection to him in that moment.
Yeah, which is valid because I don't know this man.
Yeah.
Then...
Brendan comes back from his boating trip.
Yeah.
His king crab fishing.
He powers on that iPhone and he gets right back on Instagram, and he doesn't do so without letting us know that he jacked off in his captain's seat every day of the trip.
Gross.
Which I was like...
Also, where's the cum going? Sorry to bring that up. Where's the cum going?
And Anyway.
It's definitely on the ceiling.
No.
I mean, there's no way it's not.
The visual of that was awful.
You know what I mean, though.
I'm moving on. I hate that. He asked her to dinner. And there's like a whole week of like stuff going on where her and the sister decide to like redo the bar, and Brendan offers
I can see why
services.
people from small towns, if people from big cities actually act like this, like same thing with book lovers when they were like, let's redo the bookstore.
Yeah.
Girl, do you live here?
Yeah.
Also, again, why not just get a job? Because they're also like, we're gonna redo the bar and like this will show our dad that we're responsible. To me, no it doesn't. You're throwing money at a project you're going to abandon at the end of the summer.
Yeah.
That is irresponsible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I get that it shows like okay, I'm not even gonna try it.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that it like shows that, but it's like if you're gonna pour money into buying a chandelier for this bar, like you have to follow through and like hire people to work there and like ensure that business keeps coming through, not just like has one good launch.
Yeah, and then like you never open it again.
Yeah.
It's closed after that.
Meanwhile, it's been like 2 weeks.
Right. But they start redoing this bar, and Brendan and his boat buddies like, you know, come and help with like doing things that require man muscles, i.e., you know, breaking down wood and sanding things and all that crap. And while this is all happening, they're kind of having like low-key flirts, and she's been eyeing his shirt. You know what I kept wondering about when he would take his shirt off when he was doing like, you know, when he was like cutting wood and shit, and I'm like, is he wearing jeans, no shirt, and the beanie?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the beanie. That's the thing, is that like people who wear beanies don't just casually wear the beanie.
No, the beanie stays on.
Yeah.
Like
they're fucking in the beanie.
If you're going to take off your shirt, you need to also take off your beanie.
It's kind of like when people fuck in socks. It's like, it seems like an unnecessary step, but like, take them off. You know? Like, you don't need your socks off to fuck me, but like, you better take them things off.
I can't believe I stayed with my ex for that long.
Did he do that? Damn, take those things off!
Like, and his weren't even socks, they were stockings. Anyway, after one...
No offense, but like, can you imagine wearing Nike Elite socks well into your 20s?
You have to grow up at some point. You know what I mean?
Welcome to our book podcast.
So, one day after, it's like a Friday.
You know, sometimes when you laugh, you sound like that... Dan. That's a compliment. It's cute, but sometimes you do.
And the thing is, as soon as you said that, I heard it back, and I was like, yeah. Oh my god, that's crazy. I'm never gonna be able to laugh again.
No, it's cute.
Thanks.
I love Kesha.
Yeah, I love Kesha too.
Dr. Luke, count your days. You don't want to see me in the street.
Period.
I'm hitting you with a Stanley Cup. That's just gonna hurt. And then it's time for Brendan's wife's memorial, and her dad pressures Brendan into going, and she deadass, Piper shows up to the memorial with a tray full of tequila shots. And before anyone gets mad and is like, she didn't know it's a memorial, why are you showing up to a party with a bunch of 50-year-olds? Let's do tequila shots. Girl, read the room.
Yeah.
You don't even have to know it's a memorial.
Yeah.
This actually made me so mad. I was like, someone needs to get her head out of her ass. She's pissing me off now.
Yeah, because, like, I would never see, like... And also, it was, like, it was in the basement.
Can you imagine going up to your dad and being like, would you like a tequila shot? What's your dad's name?
Richard.
I was going to say Robert. I knew that wasn't right. Richard, let's do tequila shots. He'd be like, I'm 60.
Yeah. My dad actually told me he cannot have tequila anymore.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah. But, like, you...
Everyone feels the need to tell me that for some reason. I don't care that you can't drink tequila.
He told me that after he found me blacked out once, to make me feel better, I suppose, and I was like, that's great, but I'm gonna keep drinking tequila.
You just turn around and vomit immediately. He's like, okay.
He was trying to get me on the straight and narrow, and I was like...
Was that when we went out to Decades that one time?
No, it was a different time.
Oh.
But... Yeah, this is also, like, the event was happening in the basement of a bar. So it's, like, this is obviously a private event. It's one thing if you're, like, walking around the bar being like, who wants a shot? At the bar that's already jumping with people who are at the bar to party.
Right.
But if you're walking into a private event with... It's somber in here. There's no disco light.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck serious.
And she, like... she digs herself in so deep.
Yeah.
She's like, who's ready to party?
Yeah, and she's like, who died? Everyone's like... Literally everyone in the room went... And then she, like, bolts out the door, and Brendan follows her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, obviously, I get Brendan in this moment. He's like, yeah, no, like, I'm done mourning this lady. I've done my due diligence. And I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, because
everyone gets to decide when they're done grieving.
Yeah, I mean, she's been passed for, like, 7-8 years at this point. And he says, like, I feel like I'm just doing it now to, like, be respectful to her father. Which is, like, really nice of him, because he's not obligated to do that. But he's like, well, I'm gonna go follow her, because...
But, like, she makes it, okay, I'm sorry, but she does make it all about her. She's like,
does.
I can't believe I did that, like, I'm such an idiot, blah, 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 and it's like, actually, yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, she does a lot of things where it's like, actually, yeah, you kind of looked really bad, and you could not read the room. It doesn't matter that it was Memorial. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that with your own eyes?
Oh,
the way
God.
my shoulders would be up to my ears, I'd be so tense. I'd be like... No,
just be so uncomfortable to the point
well, because
where,
again, like, I don't mean to be ageist, but again, like, girl, it's one thing to show up to make that mistake when you're 21 and, like, you can't read the room when it comes to alcohol.
Yeah.
By the time you're 28, a lot of your friends don't drink anymore. A lot of your friends don't do shots anymore, that's for damn sure, because they're 28 and, like, alcohol starts to hurt really bad by the time you're, like, 24.
Yeah.
Like, it just was so, like, that's something you do when you're, again, a mistake that a 21-year-old can make because they're immature and stupid.
Yeah.
I get that she's supposed to be immature and stupid, but, like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah. It's
Does
just
that
like,
make sense?
Yeah, it does. No, and you're right, that's the point. She's supposed to be immature and stupid, and
But,
this
like,
is...
that's too immature and stupid.
Yeah, it
And,
is.
like, actually pissed me off, like, really bad.
No, I mean, that's valid, because this is literally a memorial for someone who passed away. But, you know, they have a moment where they, like, talk and get to know each other a little bit better. Blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever. They connect on a deeper level. They talk about, you know, their fears, his wife, or his ex-wife, and, you know, all that jazz.
He stops wearing his ring and then invites her to dinner. I'm skipping through a little bit because there was just kind of like some filler of them like being flirty.
Yeah, it was
which
just when they
again,
were
like
building.
I'm just skipping through it because it's to build the tension.
Yeah.
And I think she did. I was actually like, by the time they finally got to this part, I was like, I'm ready. So I think she did a really good job of building the tension. As much as I may have not liked Piper at this point, like I was like, okay, I'm ready for the
Oh no! I was like, yeah. And the way he asked her to dinner was so. Yeah.
I will say one thing about men is they don't act like men anymore, and they don't know how to make a woman horny. They forget a key aspect of having sex, which is like they think that like if you're attracted to them and they're attracted to you, that means that you want to fuck them. No, babe. Yeah,
You just hammer meet the nail.
I know.
Wow.
Like that's the problem is that like it's like you still have to be sexy.
Yeah. You still have to entice me.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Like good for you that your dick is already hard. Mine's not.
Right, so what does that do for either of us?
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, they have like a very like hastened kiss. They like run into each other. And
He
then
lifts her off the ground. I cannot express to you guys how badly I need to be lifted off the ground by a man. Like I can't even tell you.
Yeah. Already I was like I had to shut my iPad really hard. Literally was giving
Everyone else at the front desk is like,
you okay, girl?
no.
To go take a walk around the block. But then Hannah walks in on them and he's like, he doesn't even acknowledge Hannah. He just looks at her and he's like,
That's right, you don't see no other bitches, huh?
Exactly. He's like, I'm picking you up at 7. And he just walks out.
Oh. Yeah. He takes her back to her house. Oh my god. He takes her back to his house where he makes her dinner. He's bought her a nice bottle of champagne.
The most expensive one.
He shows her his little garden that he has.
So,
And then he eats her out on the table dead ass. Like, it's so
it's
crazy.
Like my perfect night.
It's so But I will say that her verbiage when she tries to do their sexy talk was really cringing me out. I was like,
Really?
for some of it. For some, like, he says, you put the perfume right here, didn't you? the perfume right between your sexy little tits.
Oh, no.
That is not a real sentence that a man would
No.
ever say.
No, yeah, no.
Sexy little tits. First of all, are you calling my tits small? You should say, did you put the perfume on your bombshell Victoria's Secret model
Bombshell!
double-decker bus sized boobs?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like,
Yes. I did.
Yeah.
You were noticing.
But sexy little tits? Little?
Yeah, you're right. There were points where I was like, oh.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. You're right. There was definitely some parts of it that were a little bit like, okay, you're losing me a little bit, but like,
You're losing me.
overall, overarching, I was like,
oh no, yeah, I was still horny. Like, don't get me wrong, I was like, okay, I can move on.
this is really well done.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, the overarching, like, the technicalities, the world building of the whole scene, it was just very well done. I actually, like, this scene in particular, more than any of the others, I think really, really put me in a dark place.
In a dark place.
I stopped reading the book for, like, 2 days to, like, digest
Just
it.
had to reset a little bit.
Reset,
Yeah.
like, feel like it's okay that this hasn't happened to me, and move on.
It will.
Something about it was just really charged.
Meanwhile, some man literally texted me. I texted him asking when we were gonna hang out, and he said, I don't know, I'm not pressed for vagina like that. That is when I sent the text message. I said, I don't think this is going to work out. That is what that happened. That is what prompted that text message. You've never made a woman come, and I can tell you that right now from that sentence alone.
Clear.
Yeah. I'm not pressed for vagina.
Like, wait.
Ew. Anyways.
You're done. You're done. But he leaves the next morning to go fishing. For, like,
king crab fishing.
king crab fishing. And,
Did you guys know that job is, like, apparently really dangerous?
Yeah.
I googled it because she said it as, like, one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, and I googled it, and that is true. She's not lying.
I mean,
it's a very dangerous... I don't know about most dangerous job in the world, but it is quite... King crab fishing?
I too googled it, and I realized...
Does crabs be grabbing y'all?
Well, no, because you're out in the middle of the ocean and it's dangerous.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The ocean is so scary.
The ocean is one of my biggest fears. There is nothing that could make me go out on a boat for 2 weeks. Bro.
Not a fishing boat.
Absolutely not.
A Disney cruise in which I didn't pay for it? Yeah, I'm getting on that boat.
Period. But, like, this situation is just so unideal to me. I remember once, I went snorkeling in Hawaii with my family.
So scary.
When I tell you,
so
mind you,
scary.
they took us to a place that's, like, known for snorkeling, very safe, like, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's still the ocean, and it's still Hawaii, there's sharks and shit, so I get in the water, and I'm like, ooh, look at those pretty fishes, and then I'm like, actually, like, I don't like that they're swimming so close to me, and then I turned around, and I just see a dark abyss, like, literally, like, a never-ending darkness, and I was like, wrap this shit up, I'm getting out. I literally sat on the boat, like, for like 2 hours until everyone was done snorkeling. I was like, I'm not getting in this water.
Yeah, and also coral is, like, really sharp. Let's
open ocean? No.
Um,
So he goes away, but before he goes away, he gives her a key to his house. And he's like, if you need anything.
The way I'd be so up in that house, I'd be going through the drawers.
Ooh, I'm having a good dinner tonight.
Yeah.
But he gives her a key, he's like, in case, and she's like, not too much. You're moving a little quick for me. Because in her head, this whole time, she's trying to be like, pump the brakes. I'm not looking for a long term.
Oh, yeah. Also, she, like, shows up to his house in, like, a slutty dress and, like, takes off her cardigan all sensual. I don't know how you take off a cardigan sensually, by the way, but whatever. And she also mentions that she's like, I can make this about sex if we have sex tonight. That's really manipulative, and I did not like that. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole time, he's like, I don't just fuck anyone. That's not what I fucking do. And she's like, well, if I just have sex with him, basically, if I just back him into a corner.
Yeah.
He'll
And she
just do
tries
what I
to
want
for
him
a
to
long
do.
time because she's like, she's like scared of the prospect of like liking it here and wanting to stay. And he's, you know, being very forward and being like, I like you, I want you here, like, and she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. So she's like actively trying to make it only about like the physicality and sex, and he's like,
that is so manipulative.
very much.
If a male romance character, whatever, let's just move on.
I got it. It wouldn't be okay on the other side.
No, we would not be hot and sexy for it.
No. But while he's away, a huge storm hits, and she's like,
and she leaves Hannah's ass in that apartment.
no. Hannah is like, they're there, and they're like, wait, what the fuck? Is there a storm coming? And then Hannah's like, let me go to the record store and ask, like, one of my coworkers. Or she's like, I have a shift or something. I need to help close the shop. And she's like, do you want me to stay?
See, like, she got a job.
Right. And she's like, you want me to stay? And she's like, no, it's fine, go. And then 10 minutes later, Hannah's like, I think I have to stay here. The storm is fucking awful.
Oh.
So then she's by herself, and she's like, well, I'm scared, and also I think Brendan's gonna die, so I'm gonna go to his house. And she runs in the rain to his house, and, like, literally takes a shower, and then gets in his bed and falls asleep. Which, I would have done the same thing, probably.
Oh, yeah, me
Just to
too.
be,
I
like,
would have
dramatic.
I would have said, Hannah, pack a bag. Let's go.
Yeah, like,
You're not going to the record store right now. We have a house.
Right. Why are we going to the record store? Like, we have a home. And also, like, I'm gonna do this just for, like, the vibe of being the main character.
Yeah.
Like, to go there and, like, hold my tea and be like, and stare out at the ocean, like, I hope he's okay. You know?
The storm looks really bad.
Yeah. And to get in his bed and be like, oh.
Meanwhile, in the cup, it's just, like, heated up Gatorade. Like that scene from The Office.
Heated up Gatorade.
Like that scene from The Office, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. LOL.
We've got 29 minutes.
But she falls asleep, she wakes up, and she gets a call from Hannah being like, so all the fisherman dudes are at the hospital. And she doesn't even let her finish. She's like, she steals his truck, basically, and drives to the nearest hospital where they're at. Turns out one of the fisherman dudes, like, bonked his head real bad, and he has a concussion, or he's, like, out cold in the hospital. But she thought it was Brendan, obviously, who was hurt. He gets there, and then,
Not everything's about him, dude.
that ass. Or you. And she's there crying. She's there sobbing. He's there like, oh my god, I can't believe you came. You know, they have a big reunion.
Of course she... Oh, don't piss me off.
Yeah. They have a big reunion. They start, like, macking in the middle of this
They
hospital
fuck in the
hallway.
middle of the hospital. Oh, fuck. Should we conference call our nurse friend and ask her if it's a biohazard to fuck in a hospital?
Absolutely.
I personally feel like it is.
Definitely.
I would
First
not
and
fuck in a
foremost,
hospital with a bunch of sick people around. No offense to sick people.
Let's put this in context. You're in the hospital for something obviously bad, because why else are you in the hospital?
Your appendix just burst.
Yeah, right. Like, something awful is happening to you. You get rolled out on your fucking, like, hospital bed, and you see two people just, like, literally making
Mad
out.
fucking.
Like, making out to the point where you're like, why are they even wearing clothes?
Yeah.
In the middle of the hallway. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm literally heading into surgery, and you guys are doing
I'm gonna be
this?
like, nurse, let me off.
Yeah.
I have something to
I need
do.
to beat their ass right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. And then not even that, they're like, we have to go right now. So they go into one of the hospital rooms and literally fuck. This is the first time they have sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Girl, you're a little crazy for that.
Like,
Like, that's such a crazy first sex scene.
I know. It was so definitely unique. Definitely giving something a little bit different for the
She
girls.
was like, yeah. She was like, I'm gonna make history.
And she did. Definitely a good scene too. By
No,
the
I was
way.
horny.
It
Even
was
though I
such
was a
good
little
scene.
bit. Well, once I got over the fact that it's probably a biohazard, I was like,
Yeah. The only part that bothered me at first was the fact that they were making out that intensely in the middle of the hospital hallway.
That's the thing, is, like,
a private area. Like, okay, do your thing.
like, as much as I want to like a public sex scene, I just really cannot get over the fact that, like, there's a receptionist sitting at that desk and she hates her job. Trust me, I would know because it's me.
Yeah. If I'm sitting at my desk and I see people doing that right in front of me at the elevators, I'm gonna be like, I'm calling the police.
No, like, I'm gonna break this computer off the stand and hit you with it.
Yeah, you have to stop.
Yeah.
The bathroom's right there.
Like, just no, and don't go home.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just go home?
Because he had to have her now.
He can't. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They run into his father-in-law, though, and the father-in-law is like, what's all this, then?
Father-in-law's a fucking weirdo. Girl,
Me?
shut up.
Girl, like,
Why do you care?
I understand that it's hard to, like...
He's like, yes. And... Brendan's like, why do you care whose dick I ride? Brendan's having his yes and era.
Yeah, he's in his yes and. Oh, God. Now... Oh, where am I? I lost everything.
So after the bar scene, she takes Opal out. After the hospital scene, she takes Opal out to a bar. She gives her a little makeover. It was cute. And then she takes Opal to a bar, where Opal meets up with all her friends, and all of the patrons in the bar are obsessed with Piper. And they're like,
Yeah.
well, she needs to teach a makeup class.
Yeah.
How does she know how to do makeup? If she can't cook mac and cheese, how does she know how to do makeup? Makeup is a lot harder.
Very much so. But yeah, Brendan's there and he's watching her from the corner being like,
I need her right now.
she's everything. Yeah.
And she, in the middle of the bar, goes, "It was the best sex I ever had." And some other bar patrons salute Brendan. I have a gun. And a knife.
And I'm gonna use it. Yeah.
And then, you know, they go home. And
go back to his house. He doesn't fuck her while she's drunk.
I love drunk fucking.
Me too. But then they fuck in the morning, so all is well. Fret not. But then she goes home, and then he, like, pulls up on Fox in his house, and he's like...
I want to fuck Fox, by the way.
Badly. We will be reading the sequel about Fox. I hope you know that. Okay. But he goes to Fox's house, and he's like, I don't, like, there's a situation here in which, like, I could pretend, like, I need help. And Fox is like, you know, if I was trying to impress a lady, i.e., what if I was trying to impress Hannah, her sister, and she likes vinyls? What if, you know, if I was trying to impress her, I would take her to, like, a vinyl expo that's happening in Seattle, like, in 2 days from now. But that's only me, if I was trying to do that, but I'm not. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay. Anyway, we're gonna go to the vinyl expo then, since you gave me this idea.
No, literally steals the idea from him and immediately calls up Hannah. He's like, girl, I got an idea for you. We're about to have a time.
Yeah, he said we're about to have a time.
And Fox, I imagined him sitting on, I was rereading it this morning, and I was imagining him sitting on the couch, like, imagine if someone did that to you.
I'd be like,
the way I would
no
be
way.
so shocked.
No way.
Like, it would actually have me gooped.
No way. Yeah, no way. So he's like, gas up the Hyundai, we're going. And they all get in the fucking car and go to Seattle.
Someone's forgetting they don't know how to lift weights again.
They get to Seattle, and Fox and Hannah peel off to go to the vinyl expo.
Because they become, like, besties immediately.
Yeah, it's like best friend vibes. Yeah, best friend vibes, for sure.
Twinning them.
Yeah. And so Brendan's like, he also books them in, like, the nicest fucking hotel in Seattle. And she's like, how the fuck are you affording this? And
This is
like,
when we find out Brendan's a millionaire.
A millionaire. A millionaire. Apparently
What?
he makes, like, $1 million per crab. Or something.
No crab is worth $1 million.
Yeah, and she's like, she had just been like, I think I finally understand the meaning and, like, value of money.
I think I know what it's like to be poor. I think it's gonna be okay to be poor, you guys.
Yeah, she's like, I think I really
Poor
finally...
people need to get over it.
She says, I understand the value of money. And then he says, I'm a millionaire. And she goes, fuck. Wait. Don't tell me that.
I'm a millionaire? What?
But then he's like, so let's go shopping. And she's like, fuck yeah. Oh my god, this is my dream day.
He said it makes my dick hard to spoil you. I know you liked that. I didn't. Ugh. Stop saying it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like I wouldn't have preferred it worded that way. Definitely would have preferred it worded a different way.
Right.
But the vibe
feels really warm
of the sentence.
This is like burning my skin off.
Oh. So he takes her shopping, gets her a ton of jeans. They come back. Have a little...
She gets a wax with Hannah. She gets her puss waxed with Hannah. By the way, if my sister was ever like, bonding experience, let's pamper ourselves and get our pusses waxed, I would say no. First of all, I don't want to be near you when your puss is out. Second of all, I don't need my puss wax. I'm not fucking anyone. I don't need my puss wax.
Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, like, why does she need her... Why are you dragging me into this?
Yeah, I just told you that me and Fox are bestie vibes.
That's my twin.
Not too much, yeah. But she's like, well, we're doing it because I'm getting fucked today, so...
Isn't that bad?
What?
Fucking right after you get your puss waxed?
I have no idea. I've never gotten my puss waxed before.
I'm really scared of getting my puss waxed.
Me too.
But I really want to because I always have so many ingrown hairs when I shave.
Me too. So they come back from...
Well, no, hold on. They're also weird in the dressing room. They don't fuck in the dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
But yet again, guys, romance novel authors, I'm gonna need you guys to take notes. Retail workers are going through enough, okay? Leave them out of your sex lives. Like, you do not need to fuck in the dressing room, because there's so many books where they do that.
Yeah,
it's like, I get it. You're trying to indulge in a kink. Leave retail workers out of your kink. That's in the Bible.
We've gone... Literally, leave us alone.
That actually makes me so mad, actually. I'm not kidding. If you've ever fucked someone in a dressing room, if you kiss someone in public, if you fuck someone in public, you're going to hell.
If you kiss someone in public?
Yeah. Oh, wait, that means me. If you...
I was like, that's a little dramatic.
Well, like, if you've made out with somebody, not in a club, but in, like, a dressing room or something like that, I don't know, you're going to hell, and I'm making sure of it.
That's a little crazy, but... after their shopping adventure, they come back and they're trying to pick out a signature scent for him, and while they're doing it, she's like about to tell him like, I love you.
Well, she also describes his scent as unabashedly male or something like that.
Like, we get it, he's a fisherman.
No, I don't. Unabashedly male, so he stinks.
That ass.
So he smells like B.O.
B.O.
So he smells like unwashed armpit and ass.
Which is why she's trying to get him fucking cologne.
That's true. I'm gonna need you to spray your butthole with this right now.
Before we go any further.
Well, and you know Brendan doesn't wash his ass.
No, I think he washes his ass because when she describes his house, it's like very nicely kept. Like, he's clean.
Okay, just because someone has a dirty house doesn't mean they don't wash their ass.
Jessica washes her ass, you guys.
I do.
I meant for, like, a man. I feel like all women wash their asses. Like,
yeah.
As a woman, you wash your ass. But, like, as a man, they don't even think to, like, give it a wash. Yeah. So...
Are we thinking the same thing?
Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. So,
Did you ever smell his butthole?
Yeah, absolutely not. I never got anywhere close to it. But when she's picking out his scent, she's like about to tell him that she loves him, and then she gets a little ring on her phone, and she's like, "Who the fuck? Kirby? Kirby's her bestie."
Come to the phone right now.
Yeah, because she's dead. But then she's like, "Let me pick up the phone because this bitch won't stop calling me," and it's Kirby, her old BFF from LA, the one who ratted her out to the police and got her imprisoned. And Kirby's like, "Hey, bestie, where you been at?" Like,
well, pause. Yeah, she's like, everybody, like, is worshiping you right now because they can't believe that you dropped off the face of the earth and now you're living in this little, like, port town or whatever she says.
mm-hmm.
But she's posting on Instagram, so...
Yeah.
Influencers are literally always on vacation.
Yeah, I don't know what
we would know because we're influencers, and we went to Dubai last week, and we're going to Epcot next week. So...
Epcot! Dubai to Epcot!
So... I was so confused by this. I was like, what do you mean they're throwing a party in her honor?
Yeah, like...
In her honor? What did she do? Got arrested?
No, literally, like, the whole thing of, like, oh, she dropped off the face of the earth. No,
She didn't.
She posted a picture of her at the winery last week.
She posted a photo and made the caption feeling a little naughty. If I saw that, I would hit the unfollow button so quick.
I would have been like, double tap, that's just fire.
Not!
Yeah, they're throwing a party in her honor, and Kirby's like, this is an opportunity for both of us to make some big bucks, so you need to bring that ass back.
She's me. She's me and you.
Yeah, she's like, you bring that ass back. And she's like, we'll see. Hangs up the phone. She's like, I'm definitely not telling Brendan about this because...
Brendan's a dick about it.
He's like, I don't want him to know because then he's going to be like... because this whole time they're kind of both dancing around the idea of, like, is she going to end up going back home or is she staying? You know?
Right.
Because, I mean, the deal was always she be there for 3 months. And her whole thing was like, I want to redo the bar so that when my stepdad comes to see it, he's like, you've learned your lesson, come back home early.
You've learned your lesson by spending thousands
More
of
of my
dollars.
money.
Of my money!
Yeah. Yeah. So she's like, they're dancing around that topic
And fucking a boat captain.
Yeah.
You've really learned your lesson.
Yeah. Granted, this had the same, 3 seconds of conflict that Wildfire did, where it got resolved on, like, the next page.
Oh, yeah.
Because they get in the elevator. He's like, what was the phone call? She says, nothing.
He's so annoying about it. He's like, I asked you a question. Why didn't you answer it? Whoa. It's kind of giving, I'm not pressed for vagina like that, a little bit. Like, a little...
A little bit like,
whoa.
Okay. Here we go.
I miss makeup in 2018 when, like, Crayola was making makeup. When, like, Hot Cheetos was making makeup. It was so funny. And they were all the same palette.
Yeah, the exact same palette, just with a different name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Oh, yeah, so he chases her down the hallway, basically. Runs after her, picks her up, and brings her back to her room, which I was kind of like...
No, like, I don't think you guys understand how badly I need to be picked up.
Yeah. Up until he picked her up, I was like, he's doing a lot. And then I was like, he's doing just enough. And then he brings her back to the room. They immediately get over it, like, immediately. They talk about it immediately.
He licks her butthole.
He does.
I don't know, I was kind of into it, though.
Me too. The scene was exquisite.
It was pretty hot, yeah.
It was exquisite. After...
Wait a minute, we didn't talk about them fucking on the boat.
You're right. We did skip that. When was that?
Okay. I forgot to mention earlier, they go on Brendan's boat one day and they fuck on the boat, and she puts her finger in his butthole. And this is also the scene where she's like in her inner monologue. She's like, I need to pose for the photo and pop that booty out. That's what I'm saying about some of the verbiage is pop that booty out.
That's like, it's really giving a millennial wrote this.
Yeah. If you say the word booty, I again have a gun. And a prison cell waiting for you.
Pop that booty out. Babe.
Kamala is coming for you.
Yeah.
And I'm voting for her.
The scene on the boat was definitely cute, though, because he takes her out there to, like, reassure her about, like, you know, him being a fisherman. I think this happens, like, right after he comes back from the hospital.
I will say the first thing, I actually tried to read this about a year ago, and I couldn't, because I got recommended this book on TikTok, and everybody was talking about it like it was, like, absurdly good, and unfortunately this is not absurdly good. It's fine. But, like, I was expecting it to be, like, serious.
Oh.
And, like, romantic.
Oh.
It's not.
No.
I would not describe it as serious or romantic.
I wouldn't describe it as serious or romantic either.
Yeah. As soon as I read that she put her finger in his butthole, I immediately logged out. And I went straight to Goodreads and I wrote it at 1 star. I was like, you'll never get the chance to treat me like I'm a piece of shit again. And then I read it again. The second time I really liked it. First time.
You weren't in the mindset for it at that time.
I did not need to read about someone's finger going into a butthole at that time. Especially because I do get really grossed out. Not to kink shame. Not kink shaming, I swear. Hear me out. I do get really grossed out about the idea of a finger going into a man's butthole because I know it's not clean. I know that butthole is not clean. I know that it stinks. I know that when she's like goes to scratch her nose later, she's gonna be like, oh. No. She's gonna be like, oh. Oh my god. Girl, that's why you didn't go anywhere near your ex's butthole.
Period. But I did...
Going back to where we were.
Yeah. Going back. They're now on the way back home from Seattle.
They also say I love you in Seattle.
They do.
Which is crazy. They've known each other for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks, a month at most.
Yeah, at most. Literally
okay, I'm learning something about myself. I do think I have commitment issues more than I have ever, like, noticed before. Don't say I love you if you haven't known each other for more than a month. That's insanity. You're insane. I don't trust you.
I feel like, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. But
You
personally,
can feel the
for
feelings,
me,
but you shouldn't say them.
I don't even know.
I don't like it when they do it in books.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think you shouldn't say them. I just think personally for me, like, that's a little fast, you know?
That would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. I don't know if it would scare me per se, but I would be skeptical. I'd be like, you don't love me. It's been a couple weeks. You don't know everything about me.
That's what I'm saying.
To love me.
You don't really know anything about me, I would say.
Yeah. You know, like, very bare minimum surface level stuff about me.
I just saw a hint, like...
Oh, God. But when they get back, he basically tells her and Hannah to move into his home. And they do. Because he's like, well, you basically...
I don't blame them, actually. I actually blame them less for moving in with him than I do for the I love you. Because the way I'd be dying to get out of a bunk bed.
Me too. We're grown women.
Yeah.
Why are we sleeping in a bunk bed?
Yeah.
And like, there's no reason we're still sleeping here. Like, let's move into his house. So they do.
Especially if they're basically on vacation. That's the thing, is I don't understand how this is a punishment. They're basically on vacation.
Yeah. There's, like, we don't need to be sleeping in a bunk bed. And so things are, like, really nice and fun. And they're, like, living a great life. And then he needs to leave again for another trip. And the night before the trip, her stepdad calls and he's like, so when am I coming down for the opening of the bar? And she's like, has a conversation with him. And then when she gets off the phone, Brendan's like...
Well, and the dad tells her he's not coming.
Oh, true. Yeah.
The stepdad.
Yeah. And Brendan's like, the fuck was he coming here for? Was this your backup plan? Like, in case you decided you didn't want to stay? And she was like, low-key, yeah.
But that's the thing is, like I was saying earlier, I don't understand why she didn't just lie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why she didn't just tell him, like, oh no, like, I just wanted my stepdad to see the bar.
Oh, because earlier in the book, remember, they have that whole, like, we touched the truth thing, you know?
Okay,
like,
but just lie.
No, I mean, yeah, just lie.
It's also, like... It's also, like, a fair enough lie. you know.
But they get into a whole argument about her, like, if she's staying or if he's going, and she's like, girl, I already decided I wanted to stay, so I don't know why we're having this argument. And he's like, well, I'm leaving tonight, and then I'm leaving for my trip in the morning, and if you're not at the dock, I'll know your decision. And she's like, girl. And he, like, leaves her there crying, which I was like, bruh. She told you she's staying, so, like, what's the issue?
Yeah.
I think he was just already in the throes of being dramatic, that he was like, I have to double down. I have to double down. I can't backtrack on my behavior right now.
I know, that's the thing, is that, like, when I actually didn't want to break things off with that man, but now that I've sent the text message, I literally can't do anything.
You have to double down and stand behind yourself.
Yeah.
You have to back yourself. You're not gonna go back on the behavior when you realize that, like, oh, like, it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like...
No, like, yeah, it was that deep, and I'm gonna stand by it.
Exactly.
Right.
So he's like, he leaves for the night. In the morning, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go meet him at the dock because, well, I want to stay here and I love him. But she's like, first, I need to take Abe to his spot to go read. Poor Abe has trouble walking and he trips and falls down.
The way you said it.
Poor Abe. He bonks his head. It made me sad. But I was also like, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Like, so
like,
annoying.
it's like the clown music where it's like... like that's what
I literally was like, ugh, like how many more miscommunications can we have?
I do hate a miscommunication.
I hate a miscommunication, so annoying.
Yeah, so she doesn't make it to the dock because Abe fell.
Called and
so
called,
funny.
and he didn't pick up the phone.
Because he's on a boat.
He's in a boat. So he goes thinking that she doesn't love him, and she's like, well, he thinks I don't love him. She spends the next 2 days in misery, getting ready.
That is so me. One thing about me, like, it doesn't matter how long I've been dating a man, the second we break up, like, it's giving I'm gonna lie on the floor of the bathroom for 6 days.
Yeah. Something about me is, like, if I get, like, if I'm slightly miserable, I'm very miserable. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Like, it's a slippery slope.
Very slippery.
Yeah.
Very slippery. Made of ice.
Yeah.
The slope. And so... she's getting ready for the opening of the bar, and Brendan's supposed to be back in time for the opening of the bar, like he's supposed to meet her there. The opening of the bar comes around 2 days later at 6 p.m. Bar's empty as shit. Like, nobody's there.
Except for Mick, who basically tells her, you can't replace something old, bitch.
He's like, you're never gonna be my daughter, bitch. And she's like...
That was insane. Tessa Bailey really did something with that.
Bro.
She had me shook to my core. I said, oh.
My jaw was on the ground. There's no way you showed up to my bar opening just to tell me I'm never gonna replace your daughter and then leave. Like, why was he
I'm pretty sure he drank a beer, too.
Yeah, he did.
For free!
There's no reason for you to come up in here and serve Regina George at your grown-ass age. You are a grown-ass man.
He sat there, he said, you're never gonna replace my daughter. Okay, Mal from Descendants.
Yeah. He was doing a lot. And so then she's just so upset, and Hannah's like, you know what, girl? Just go to LA. Just go to LA.
Hannah was such a bitch for that. Hannah was like, you're right. You guys aren't going to end up together. You might as well just quit and go home.
I was like, what kind of terrible advice?
I know, I saw that. I was like, she was literally left that bar, they were open for like 2 hours. That was it. Like, also, it's perfectly normal for people to not show up for things when they open, right when they open. It's a bar, dude.
It's a bar, and also it's 6 p.m.
Yeah, I'm not showing up to no damn bar at 6 p.m.
Like, come on, you guys.
Y'all don't let the sun go down.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what these fuckos look like in the daylight.
Every single person that has plans to go to this bar opening thought, well, it's not going to get jumping until like 10:30.
Yeah.
So let's show up at 10:30, maybe even 11.
Right.
Which is what happens. But it's too late because she already leaves and gets in an Uber to go back to LA.
And Hannah gets what she deserves because Hannah struggles behind the bar.
Oh, yeah. Brendan shows up and he's like, at 11 because there was issues with the boat. And he shows up and he's like, oh my God, I'm late, whatever. And then he gets there and Hannah's like drowning behind people who are trying to get a beer off her. And her bestie vibes, Fox, jumps in to help her behind the bar. And he's
I would have said, no, you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Why would you tell her? I actually was getting so mad reading that. Well, you might as well just give up on something that we both worked hard for.
Yeah.
You might as well just leave.
And give up on the love of your life who you literally... Like, what? What?
I know you've been waiting for 2 hours, and that's not really that much. She's actually so mean, because remember, like, not 20 minutes ago when I said after 2 hours, I start acting really
yeah.
nonchalant.
Yeah. Awful advice. And Brendan's like, where the fuck is she? She tells him where she is at this, going to this event with
Also,
Kirby
gets
in
out of
LA.
there so fast.
He hits feet. But also, there was a
Well,
really...
no, how did she book a flight and get to LA?
Oh, true. Probably had the PJ, like, on the back burner. She called up
The PG?
Yeah, she was like, come pick me up. I'm trying to go back home.
But how does she get the keys to the PJ?
She doesn't drive it herself.
She flies it herself. This whole time she's a secret talent.
She's a pilot.
Well, no, but seriously, how does she get the keys to the PJ if she doesn't even have a job?
Piper the pilot.
Anyways.
There was also a really, really cringy scene here where, like, everyone in the bar's like, I love Piper! She's amazing and she's so much fun!
That's what I imagine happens every time I leave Decades. They're like, I wish that girl was still here. She was so fun and cool.
Every single person...
And her Olivia... I bet she owns an Olivia Rodrigo Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Every single
person.
person.
And I bet she has double-decker boobs under that top. Like, I imagine that's what I want to happen.
Every single person in that bar was giving their own story
it's giving
and
Camp Rock
anecdote.
too.
Literally giving their own anecdote about how Piper has become a staple of this community. Girl...
Piper's been there for like a month. Her name...
I was like, it's a little
else to do it.
It's a little bit too cringe for me. It's giving a little bit too much kumbaya, a little bit too much Disney Channel original.
Right.
I can't do it.
A decom, if you will.
Yeah. So then Brendan leaves and goes to LA. Cut to Piper in LA, and she's sitting on a unicorn about to be
I was so mad reading this with my own eyeballs. She's riding an animatronic unicorn to get wheeled out,
like lifted into
onto
the bar.
stage. Is she Taylor Swift the Eras Tour?
Like, what the fuck?
If I saw first of all, Kendall Jenner would never. Hailey Bieber would never enter a party. They enter through the back door secretly.
Exactly.
They don't get lifted into the...
Even if you're hosting a party, like, you know,
you want to
like,
look like rich and luxurious. You don't want to look tacky on a unicorn.
Yeah, you know, like, even when you, like, celebrities will, like, host a party at a bar. Like, say Alex Earl's hosting a party at a bar. She's not getting hoisted in on a unicorn.
Yeah,
like,
she's
what?
getting literally her own private entrance. They're shackling people to the floor. They're like, don't fucking move while she walks in.
Yeah.
On
like,
a unicorn?
What even?
And also, why is there a stage? Like, it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make any kind of sense
She's
at
not
all.
performing, so why is she getting, like, lifted onto the stage in the first place?
Like, what the fuck is happening here? So...
Nothing about it makes sense.
Yeah, and as she's sitting there, she's like, nothing about this makes sense. So, she's like, I want off of this thing. She starts freaking out. And then, lo and behold, Brendan's in the crowd, because apparently he's 85 feet tall, and she can see him over the whole crowd. And then he, like, elbows his way through the crowd to get to her.
Because he's big and huge. Also, I assume wearing a beanie.
Of course, in the club.
If you see a man wearing a beanie in the club,
run.
Yeah, like, let him go where he needs to go.
Yeah. But they meet each other in the middle. You know, they have their little reunion moment, and then he, like, picks her up and he, like, carries her, like, 10 blocks down the street as far away as possible from this event.
Again, imagine you're blacked out and you see that with your own eyeballs. I think I would vomit immediately.
Yeah,
I think I'd be like,
what's happening? First of all, why is he wearing a beanie in the club? What?
I'm like, girl, do you want to be with that man? His beanie's really ugly. Do you know him? Oh, okay. Ew,
have a good night, you guys. Yeah.
And you look at your friends, you're like, ugh, God, his outfit was hideous.
But then he puts her back down on the ground. They have their moment where they're, like, apologizing to each other and talking
also,
about...
like, if you have a fight this big, maybe you don't love each other after 3 weeks. Consider that.
Well, their fight was also stupid because it was, again, based on something that could have been very easily resolved with more communication.
Right.
So it was like, y'all, maybe just talk to one another.
Yeah. Breaking up over one fight is kind of insane.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that's where the book ends. And then we have our epilogue.
Guys, I fucking hate epilogues. Stop writing them. They're so, like, 99% of the time, I don't need to know what happens with these characters. I know what happens between these two characters. They get married and fall in love, and she moves back to the town, and they continue doing what they're doing. Right. Because they're not that deep. They're, like, 3 feet deep. Like, they're shallow.
Yeah.
Like, let's just move on. Like, you don't need... And the epilogue is 1 week later. I really don't need an epilogue that's 1 week later. What has changed between these two characters between now and then?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Making it 1 week later was so funny.
You know, she's giggling a little when she wrote it. She was like...
She should have been like, yes, tomorrow afternoon.
1 moon later.
But in the epilogue, Hannah's going back to LA. And Brendan's on a boat trip, so he's not there. And as they're leaving...
God damn.
She find a little box on the...
I didn't read this epilogue, I can tell you that much.
You never read the epilogue, which is why I'm saying it. They find a little package on the doorstep addressed to Hannah, and it's a Fleetwood Mac album that Fox found for her, which was, like, something she really wanted, and she had mentioned earlier in the book that she, like, really wanted this album.
Right. For My American Girl stands, it's like if somebody dropped off a Leah Clark.
Exactly. And she's standing there, and she's like, and Piper's like, oh, like, that's a really nice, thoughtful gift. Bestie vibes? And she's like, yeah, bestie vibes. Anyway, take me to the fucking airport. And then she goes...
And she's like, okay.
Okay. And then she goes to the dock to meet Brendan. The end. The epilogue was really, now thinking about it, was just a setup for book 2. Kind of.
Now I see why she wrote it.
There's a tiny plant for book 2. But...
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with
I'm
it,
ready
too.
for book 2.
I'm ready for book 2.
Do you want to read that next instead of The Nanny?
Actually, I'm already halfway through The Nanny, and I really think you need to read that. We'll read it after The Nanny.
Okay, next week we're reading The Nanny, if you guys want to hop in on that with us.
My jaw's on the floor. But, yeah. I like, now thinking about it, in the moment, it's like reading it, you're like, why is this epilogue here? You know? But I also, again, I didn't know there was a sequel at that point. I looked it up.
When you know there's, exactly. She's setting up for a sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It makes sense when you know that.
For sure.
But again, completely irrelevant. You could have just put out the second book without the epilogue.
Yeah, I didn't need an epilogue.
No.
I think plenty of people would have read it without the epilogue.
Yeah. You know what there was, actually, at the end of the book, though? There was a secret, like, a bonus chapter. And the chapter was earlier in the book when...
Was it another sex scene?
No.
Then I don't care.
No. Earlier in the book, when there's when Piper and Brendan go to the Red Buoy, like very, very early, like their first kind of date, and Hannah and Fox go to that record store. It's like what was happening with those two, which I feel like was a better way to like give a little like teaser and a little bit of like, ooh, another book's coming out than having an epilogue. Like you could have eliminated the whole epilogue.
Yeah, maybe the bonus chapter wasn't there originally. Maybe it's been added after the sequel.
Maybe
came out.
But I'm like, this is doing the great effect. You don't need the epilogue to give a little sprinkle. But yeah, probably got added after.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end.
That's what happened one summer.
That's it. It did happen one summer. What was your rating?
I'm gonna do something controversial, and I'm gonna say it was a 3 out of 5.
Period.
It was a little cringy, but like I don't think that she's writing any of these like to be added to the Library of Congress. Like like she's not. I think she's writing something fun and silly and girly, and I think if you take it too seriously, you're really not gonna like it. Like I did when I read it, and I read about the butthole. I was like, okay, that's not what I was looking for. That's not the vibe.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I thought the sex scenes were good. I was interested. The tension was nice. I didn't hate it. I actually read it on audiobook and on Kindle, and I didn't hate either one of them more than the other. I actually really liked the audio person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This one I did completely just reading.
You always read the bad ones on audiobook.
I know. It seems to just work out that way. But I agree with you. I think going into it, you also told me, like, this is going to be, like, silly vibes. And having that in my mind already made me enjoy it a lot more, I think. I also gave it, like, a 3... Actually, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. That 0.5 being for the sex scenes there.
The sex scenes were pretty good.
They were really good. Like, it literally made me, like, put down my iPad and contemplate my life really good.
Yeah.
And when it gets to that point, I'm going through a lot. So, yeah, I really like those.
Like, seems like you do that about every sex scene.
Indeed. But... yeah, I would say that's my rating.
Damn.
But yeah, I definitely agree. If I was going into it with some kind of like idea that it's just some kind of like serious read, I would have been like, girl, what on earth?
Right.
But if you're going into it for like a silly, like if you're going to the beach for a week and you need like a fun book to read, a little romance, recommend.
Yeah.
For like a fun, cute, fun read. But yeah, we're reading Twisted Love first, and then...
So next week, we're going to be reading Twisted Love.
Yes. And then...
You want to join in?
Yeah, if you want to join in on that one. And then we will be reading The Nanny. And then we'll be reading... I think this second part of this book is called, like, Hook, Line, and Sinker. Oh, God. You've charmed me.
You've definitely
charmed me. So that's what we have coming up if you want to, get reading and get those on your TBR to join us with these ones. If you want to recommend us a book, you know where to do it. Comment it on our pages because we see all of our comments, but we also have a form in our Instagram if you want to use that.
Yeah, we don't have any followers, so...
period. So if you comment, we'll see it.
Yeah, don't worry.
And if you want to follow on any of our socials, they're all going to be in the description below.
Please subscribe and go listen on all the other platforms.
Please
Spotify,
do. Apple Music, which I'm going to get running right now when we turn off this computer. I will not be bested by technology one more time. So go follow all of those and send them to your girlies who also like to read, and I'll also post the link to this in your book club chat. Yeah, do that. Do us that solid, would you not?
We're receptionists. Do you have no respect for people who hate their jobs?
Do you have no respect for people who, like, put in blood, sweat, and tears just to get yelled at all day? People who have to use Slack. Bye. Okay.
Turn the camera off.